All right, welcome back, everybody. We are back here with another update, and we are going to be doing a little bit of live coverage on the latest winter, sneaky little winter event going on across the mid-Atlantic here. I have the radar all set up. This is what it's looking like on the snow maps, and yes, it is snowing pretty well, and I'm really keeping an eye out for any banding, and I'm starting to see some interesting developments on radar right now. That's actually why I'm coming on live, because I'm trying to give you guys the latest thinking on this. This is the real radar loop, and you know, for this system, it's not too shabby. It's not a crazy system. It's not like we're about to see like 6 inches, but it's definitely there for a 2 to 4 inch event. I really do believe a 2 to 4 inches is getting really likely at this given point here. And I mean, I wonder where this is really going to set up, because there is some interesting things going on. We definitely got some heavier precip back in here. That is, wait, let me actually go into one last, yeah, this is actually the radar here. And I would say this was about 7:25. So it's been snowing for the last maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, I would say, 8:35, 9:35. So it's been snowing probably for the last 2 hours, and we have seen some snow up to maybe now an inch in some spots. I mean, for radar purposes, compared to the models, this has done a very, could be an overperformance of a job. I mean, when we're looking at the latest HER, it definitely shows it, and it definitely has it trying to survive. I mean, could we see a shocking bit of snow? I mean, I'm not ruling it out at this given point. It's definitely there right now. I mean, this is that 1 hour. I mean, it's definitely showing up on radar pretty well. And then you see some of those bandings continuing. I mean, according to the HER model, maybe another inch or so is expected. I think we could see a little bit more. I'm not really, it's more like nowcasting at this given point, but it's not terrible. It's really not a terrible sneaky system. I just don't think we're going to see crazy amounts. HER model already, you know, it definitely has that blowing up, and then boom, you know, a little bit sneaky, and then even some freezing rain here. We're going to have to watch out. Freezing drizzle overnight, and then some more freezing rain, and going into later in the week with the model here, we see a little bit of a sneaky snow, I like to call it. Latest 0Z has kind of shifted a little bit more south here. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. It does have, you know, it's very interesting. This is sneaky number 1 here. Maybe a 1 to 2, to even 2 to 4 inches. I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the chances of it happening it's possible. Radar is doing a pretty pleasant job right now for me. I can't lie. It's doing a pretty good job on its analysis. A little bit better than I think the models was previously thinking. And then, as we keep going here, we do see this system continuing to move away throughout tonight. And just give me 1 second. And then we can kind of see on the latest ZRZ, we do see a little bit of those sprinkles, freezing rain. That's going to be some freezing rain drizzle. And then we see a little bit of a freezing rain onshore. And then we kind of see a winter storm develop. This can actually set up some pretty good totals. Where does this set up is the bottom key. This is going to have a freezing rain event too. I'm very interested where this is going to set up. Right now it stays up in mid in mid-New England. I can see this come down pretty far in the next day or two. I mean, we already started seeing that today. This was 12Z, 18Z, and then 0Z is actually a little bit back to the north here. And then it does have a snowstorm, coming down here into Mass. And then when we look at snowfall there, I mean, look at that, you guys. That's a pretty damn good clipper right there. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. I mean, look at that. You're talking about almost a foot of snow where this happens. This can really add on some pretty good totals. This is 18Z. Look at 18Z. Look at 12Z. Look how we have went from 6Z to, look at that, 6Z, 12Z, a little bit more further south, 18Z, a little bit more south, and then 0Z, we're already all the way down here. Just something to keep an eye out on. And then we can kind of see that come back there. So I'm not saying we're going to see now something big, but another clipper, another storm system watch. Euro model likes it a lot more warmer. It likes it more on the northern side here. And actually has it more up in, up in there. And then it never really develops like the NAM. And then the Euro model does show a frontal end system with the 12Z here. And then boom, we see a little bit of a system there. And then a little bit of a potential snow event there. So the models, I will say, winter is not over. Now it's 12Z. This is 18Z. Definitely has that little bit of snow. Sneaky snow. 1 to 2, 2 to 4 inches in spots. It wouldn't surprise me. And then this is your latest 18Z from 12Z. And when we take a look at this, it's actually about the same. It's about in the same positioning, and then it does show another little precip round of some freezing rain, winter snow going to the 21st. So we got some activity to watch. Definitely going into the future here. So do not unsubscribe from the channel. You guys should like, because we got some good information that's going to be coming up. We're going to keep an eye on every little bit thing here. We see this system on the GFS a little bit more robust. A little bit more of a freezing rain, you guys. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. This is one of those setups where we can definitely see some freezing rain. This could definitely become a freezing rain event for someone. So I really do not want to throw my eye off the ball there, because we have seen this time and time again. Sneaky little systems and something to really watch. I'm going to quickly look at the chat. Maybe. Hi, everyone. I see some good banning on Long Island. Of snow can Western Line overperform? I think it's possible. I think Long Island can overperform a little bit. I think it's possible. But I'm kind of looking out in the further of things, of schemes here. Look at that, you guys. This is that latest GFS. I mean, keep an eye. This is about 3 days out. We have seen things have changed drastically. Even in the ice thing, and then boom, a little bit of snow event, and then boom, we see another little event, and then see a little bit of a snow event going to the 22nd. So some interesting data, and then a big shot of cold air, and then we kind of see an active pattern. But one thing I'm seeing with this pattern here is we're not seeing crazy warmth, but I'm seeing more cold air damming systems playing out into the future. As we get in early March, a lot of cold air damming. That means some ice, some wintry mix, rain. More of that like tough winter precip, not that just plain old snow powder. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But I do want to quickly refresh this. I want to keep it on the live coverage of this radar here, because I heard someone talking about Long Island. I'm telling you, there's definitely a little bit. And you said Long Island. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of banding going on in Long Island here. If we take a look at the precip, look at that, just south of Long Island, even on Long Island, some heavier precip going through. Is it snowing there? That's a really good question. Is it snowing? I wonder if it's snowing. You could definitely see a bit of interesting stuff here. You could tell with the outflow boundary. I was talking about it earlier. We're going to have some of the jet streaks going like this. Look how some of this darker green, aka heavier snows, are kind of elevating itself right along Long Island. That's why I'm saying a 2 to 4 inches is someone could get 2 to 4. I'm telling you, it's really possible for 1 to 2, 2 to 4 inches of snow. And then the snow continues to fall back in here. And then when we take a look at the radar over here, I mean, look at that. It continues to fall here. It's moving very slowly. But that green is spreading apart. So that means some heavier precip accumulations towards the end of this. I mean, it's going to be a slow. It's fast, but it's slow. It's not crazy fast. But it's not slow enough to produce crazy amount of precipitation. This is your latest, looks here of the radar. And some of the banding's actually in the northern part. That really surprises me. Some of those banding features. So keep that in mind. All right. How is it? Is it snowing hard there? How is it for Long Island? I want to look at snowfall totals. I want to see if anyone put out any accumulations. Gmail. Yeah, no one has posted anything. Nothing over here. Yeah, I wonder. Really wonder if we do get anything. I'm watching radar. That's a big thing I'm watching. We definitely see that. Even some more outflow. And then we see a little bit of, a little bit of a clipper with the her right there. Some freezing rain. Some snow showers. That's very interesting. Yeah, some freezing rain. Keep an eye out for that. Freezing drizzle in the next system. It is really looking important to me. I really want to keep an eye on that one. That's a one where, it could catch people off guard too. I really wonder how this radar's picking up here. Let me go quickly outside and go look myself and see how things are looking.
On their side? Conflict. But I want to win.
All right, it's snowing pretty steady, you guys. It's definitely snowing, and I'm actually in the middle right now. I'm not even seeing the heaviest snowfall, so I can see 2 to 4, you guys. It's definitely snowing in some of these bandings areas too. I'm really watching the northern part here too, because what's going to happen here is a lot of this northern stream is going to start to circle back in here. So, like I said, I think the heaviest snows are going to be in this region right in here. I think these are going to be the heaviest snows because you're going to see the longest lasting precip. And right now, according to radar compared to the models, there is a little bit better banding than expected with the her. I can definitely tell you, especially on the northern side. I mean, look at some of these northern bands. This is that Durham. You guys heard about Durham? What's the word? It's like cyclone genesis, but it's not. It's basically when the temperatures are marginal and you get some snow and then it starts to snow heavy and you get that thumping of wet snow and those big fat flakes, and it can surprise you with a quick thing. This storm is with that type of setup, and we're seeing that on the radar pretty nicely here. I mean, pretty nicely going on. I mean, it's 30 degrees. It is snowing very steady in my area. It's snowing steady. But there is definitely some heavier snows out there, a little bit heavier than where I'm at. And I'm in the next patch here, you guys. I mean, look at some of this precip back here. This has become pretty heavy. And this is, I think this is being a lot better than the models here than previous thought. And the snow is really, it's kind of right now what's going on is we're kind of seeing, if I have to say, is we're seeing quite a bit of a precip boost up north. We're kind of seeing some precip go north. It's very interesting. I mean, look at this. I mean, we're seeing this happen. So some of this precip down here is kind of going in like this. We're kind of getting this precip is kind of going back in here. It's kind of filling in back in here. And that's continuing over here. And then you can kind of start seeing some of these jet streaks. You kind of see how they're going out like this. That's that jet streak, you guys. You can even see a nice little band right here in Allentown, right here in Pottsville. I'm not trying to color code everything, but if we have to look at some good banding right now, Long Island's one, even up in the Allentown area, just south of Allentown too. I think Allentown is kind of on the steady side. Just north of Allentown, it's going pretty good. Reading's doing pretty good. Stroudsburg, Pocono, Scranton even is getting a good thumping of some wet snow right now. And you can tell there is a band that has developed, and it's going to be very interesting because what I'm starting to see here is this heavier snows are kind of fading in. It's kind of getting pushed in like this. We don't see it that much, but we see the back edge of this over here. But we're still seeing some of this. Actually, I want to quickly take a look here if this is still getting pushed back here. So kind of right now what's going on is some of these are kind of, these are still going. Like that's the back edge. This is just west movement right here. This is so far that west moves moving. So that means this quarter is going to have the most. But we're also seeing a developing band here that's kind of coming in like this too. So what's going to happen is we're going to continue to see these bands, but there's going to be some Genesis bands. They're going to drop a little bit heavier snowfall rates than expected. And it definitely hasn't been shown on the model too well today, but we saw it a day ago. So I'm really watching some of these bands. That's why I went live too, because I noticed the banding shaping up pretty well. And I have to say, I'm trying to fix this up here. Just give me 1 second. I mean, you could definitely tell there's some heavier snows developing right in here. This has been moving this way right here. But you got your west precip like this, and then you got your little bit back here doing this. So and then you got a little bit of this. So we're not even there just yet. We're still seeing these fading out like that, and then we're kind of seeing the back end of this. So I'm very interested. I'm interested, you guys. I'm interested how this is all going to play out. There's definitely, that band is definitely developing. I'm really keeping an eye on that band near Hershey. Look at this, you guys. I want you guys to keep a watch on this. Look how this is slowly coming up from in here, right? This is kind of still moving in like this direction. Right here. This is kind of moving in this direction. And then all of a sudden, you're seeing a retreating band like this starting to develop here. And then this band is going in. So there's going to be some hour, someone's going to get a good hour of heavy snow. I'm really starting to believe it. Look at the radar. Especially back in State College here. Some of this heavier precip is coming down pretty good. I want to keep an eye on that. And then even back in Scranton and Pocos, not everyone here. But you guys see how some of these like thunderstorm looking bands, I mean, this is a very good thing here. Look at some of these training bands here. This is kind of still moving north. But now you're starting to see everything come back in this direction. So that's your cutoff line. And you're kind of seeing maybe some more heavier precip making itself out south. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think this is going to be a very interesting developing story in the next hour or two. I'm very interested. Huh. I've gotten nothing out of the snow reports yet. Very interesting. It's a sneaky system, you guys. It's definitely some good banding there possible. Ooh, new. Okay, so this is different. Yeah, look at that, you guys. See how the model's catching up on it? Look at the latest. Look at the latest onesie, 2Z. Look at that, and then latest one. A lot more heavier precip going on right now. It's catching up to it. It's not fully there yet. It's still missing some of this heavier precip up in here. But you kind of got the right thinking down here. And then steady snow right in here. And then some heavier on the north. This is a little bit more further back. How's that going to play out? That's going to be more snow. Yes, more snow. More the merrier, you guys. More the merrier. We're going to really ask for this. Let me go quickly look at the chat, because I know I haven't been looking at the chat in this stream at all. But I'm keeping an eye. So, hey, PM. Nice to see you. Yay, I'm in the area for good snow. It's not heavy snow, but it was, say, moderate. Yeah, it's snowing here in Long Island. Nice to see you, PM. Nice to see you. It's just a little fun stream. I haven't streamed with you guys in a little bit. So I'm kind of, taking whatever it is right now and kind of just streaming it because why not? I get to talk to you guys. So, yeah, look at this. It's not from 1Z to 2Z. It's a little bit heavier precip. It's definitely a little bit heavier. It's still behind. I'm afraid to say it's still behind just a bit. But the snow, yeah, see, it's a little bit further north and a little bit heavier. So we're gonna have to kind of wait and see. I'm thinking, I'm thinking 2 inches. I'm thinking mostly 1 to 2, locally 3. Could we even see a 4? Not out of the realm of possibility. I'm really watching. I want to keep watching the outside because it's really going to tell me the snowfall. I mean, right now it's in Allentown. Believe it or not, it's some lighter snows. But just north of Allentown, you're dealing with a pretty good flowing band through here. Some steady snow. And then you got some heavy snow back in here. I'm really going to keep an eye on the back end of this. Definitely some back end snow. According to future radar, it says it's still snowing by 4 in the morning. That'll be nice. But let me go quickly check and let me go get a drink of a drink. So we're gonna keep an eye. We're gonna be back in just a few minutes. Thank you and see you guys in a moment. Cool. I think we might be calling. I think we're gonna get called in. I'm telling you. No, I think we will get it. All right, I'm back, you guys. I'm back. So it's snowing very steady right now outside. I will admit. What a surprise. What a surprise. Winter is not trying to disappoint. Nice to hear from everybody. I hope everyone is doing great. I know I'm doing pretty damn good right now. I'm hoping for the snow, you guys. You know, I can technically be, you know, I would like some snow pace, so I'm not going to lie, I'll enjoy it pretty well. It's snowing pretty good, pretty steady. We're definitely going to, you know, any burst of snow in this temperature, we're definitely going to see some accumulation. All right, so let's take a quick look at this. I want to re-update that. I want to re-update this too. And then I kind of want to look at satellite. No. Damn it. Okay, maybe. So this is our storm. Okay. That's interesting. Look at that, you guys. We got our low level spin here. And then you can tell we have a little bit of a mid level right in here. Yeah, see, this is, we got our, just too much, you guys. It can't happen. Only if this was maybe 6 hours earlier. I saw this earlier too. This could have easily went up the coast and been a coastal storm. Sadly, it's just not it. Nope, not it. But it's definitely giving its all. It's definitely giving some of its good precip. So we have to take what it can get and give what it, you know, wants to. So we can't complain. The radar, I can't lie, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too shabby. We're building up some precip back in here. That's a good sign. I mean, that means, you know, you're still getting precip thrown into the storm. This is your back edge, though, right near Wilmsport. I mean, it's not moving too much in the frames. I mean, it's really having a tough time to move. So it's kind of prolonging some of this steady snow across here. You know, like Allentown, it's been kind of lighter. New Jersey, even a little bit lighter. It hasn't been doing too well. I mean, it's definitely snowing. I mean, you're adding some precip too. I mean, look at that. You're getting some pretty good precip going on there. Interesting. I really wonder when we take a look at 11 p.m., it's still going strong here. 12 o'clock, strong. 1, 2, 3. Wow, look at that, you guys. 3 o'clock, it's still snowing. We have to see if this comes true. And then even 4. I mean, it's holding strong, especially in the New Jersey and stuff. That's a hope of a sign it happens, because we will love that too. That would be awesome if we can do that. If precip can kind of keep the precip going and like I said, this is your low level down here. This is your low level cold front right in here. That's going to exit like this. But what's your mid levels up in here. And this is the one that's giving you your precip up here. So if we can kind of keep pushing that precip right against the mountains and then add the mountains down off, we could kind of hold off on some steady snow for at least even a half an hour in some spots than expected. So we kind of, if you're a snow lover, you're hoping for that. But so far, everything is looking pretty good. Could it be an overperformer? 4 inches? I think it's really there possible. We have to just wait and give it a couple. We have to give it some time. I'm really watching you guys. Every frame counts. Steady right now. Hold it off steady. That's all I can say. Nothing has too much changed with the formation bands. It's kind of where it's set off right now. I can't really say if we're going to keep adding to those. I think these are the snow bands, and this is where it's kind of setting up. At least for now, at least for a couple hours. We're definitely dealing with some heavier precip though. Some better rates across just north of Allentown. Those rates have continued to get a little bit better. It has come off just a little bit in the last couple minutes, but still snowing pretty good. Those snow bands on the northern side is still coming down pretty good. The Williamsport band is still holding strong there. Back in this part, kind of weakening some. As weakened some, not as steady as weakened some in some of those bands, but not terrible. And then back in New Jersey, it's kind of hard to tell. You're dealing with some pretty good rates. Your rates ain't doing too bad, actually. Your rates have been doing pretty good. We're going to have to kind of wait and see it. Hmm. I'm really watching this, you guys. So if I'm kind of quiet, I'm just looking at some observations and some of the snowfall on radars and some of this information because this information is really crucial here. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Look at that. Boom, the latest. Look at that next system, too, with the icon. Icon has trended. See what I mean? We cannot forget about this. Look at this, you guys. Look at the last icon of this icon. We have trended maybe 100 miles to the south. And now, instead of having less snow, we're having more of a snowstorm now in Mass and northern Connecticut. See what I mean? The little differences like that could easily bring some freezing rain and some winter precip pretty quick. So, just telling you guys, do not always regard it here. This is the R-Gem. It likes that snow. It likes a little bit of that freezing rain and then more of that plain old rain and then that switch over. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, ooh, some snow showers are right in there. All right, let's see this. Hmm. I'm watching this. Definitely some good steady snow right now. All right, I'll be back in just a moment. I'll be back in 1 second. All right, I am back. All right, let's see. All right, latest radar, it's a little bit better. It's still pretty bad. We kind of are losing some of the major greens. I mean, we kind of got some of the yellows. I mean, even we have lost some of the yellows, but we have gained some of the yellows back. Some of the greens back. It's not as heavy. It's steady. That's the key. A lot of those heavier bands have kind of diminished into some steadier bands. So everybody's kind of more now seeing a kind of steady snow now with some occasionally heavier snows in it. All right. Not terrible. I mean, oh, this is gonna be a tough forecast, you guys. I can't lie. If you guys are wondering your exact location, I mean, I say 2 to 4. I'm locking it in. I've been kind of locked in, but I've been saying 2 to 4 this entire stream. I really think a solid 2 to 4. I just went outside. It's a good almost inch on the ground already. So, I'm waiting up, and look at that, you guys. We got Nazareth at 1.5 inches at 10 o'clock. So believe it or not, there is our first snowfall report, 1.5 inches in Nazareth at 10 o'clock. Interesting. Keep that in mind. At 10 o'clock, it's still snowing. There is a report of 1.5 inches. So that's, if you guys are on the roads tonight, please be careful. Do not take this as just a precaution here. We still got a pretty good amount here. Some snow trying to build back in here. We're going to have to be careful. But thank you guys. I'm going to quickly go get another drink. I'm kind of going in and out of this stream. Kind of keeping an eye on it. There's nothing new that's crazy on the banding. There's sporadic banding trying to develop. Cause a little bit heavier snowfall totals. But we do have everybody breaking news. Our first snow accumulation out of this, really. And it's in Nazareth. At 10 o'clock, this was a 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches in Nazareth. So that's good. We are starting. I really want to know what we're getting some back here. I wonder if we're getting some 2s and 3s. I wonder about that. But it's supposed to keep snowing, you guys, for the next couple hours. So I'm not, when we take a look at the future radar here, for an example, when we take a look at Nazareth, I mean, let's just take a look at the general vicinity right in here, right? You're going into 11 o'clock, it's still snowing. 12 o'clock, you're snowing steady still. 1 in the morning, you're still snowing steady. 2 in the morning, you're still snowing steady. In a variety, and even almost 3 o'clock, it's still snowing heavy. And then this is 4 o'clock. It's snowing still heavy with some even snow bands. And then it's finally starting to die down. Probably around after 4:30, I would say it's starting to die down with some snow showers. But when you do the math, you still got 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. You still got another 4 to 6 hours of some steady snow. So if you got, let's say this, you still got 4 to 6 hours, and this just came in the last 3 hours. You could still get another 1.5 inches in the next 3 hours and still have a little bit more snow. And that would be that would be 3 inches. So like at the end of this, you could technically round up with 3.5 to 4 inches in Nazareth if the snow keeps going down the rates it is. And I'm really not surprised if most of these areas are reaching 0.99, 1 inch now across vicinity of this, and then about 1/2 inch back in here to almost an inch. So like I said, I think there's going to be some spots seeing 3, 4 inches and be like, whoa, he was right, and then all of a sudden now we're seeing some little banding features trying to make it through the mountain regions here of some heavier snow streaks. We're going to have to keep an eye on that too, because that can also bump it all the way up. So, you guys, this can overperform, but right now I say a solid 2-4 inches is a solid nail, you guys. I mean, I really do. Yeah, like Northampton developed that band pretty nicely under them. It's still snowing in Williamsport. That's how slow this rain of snow is taking. Very interesting. Very interesting right now with the snow. I'm hoping for the best. It's snowing pretty steady, you guys. That's a benefit to all this, I have to say. I'm glad we got our first report. That's big. Yeah, that was a little snow streak. That kind of just went into Northampton. Yeah, that was a little snow streak right there. That was probably a quick. It's kind of hard to look at the radar on this one because it's not the best. Any new reports? Anyone? No. Just of that right now. Let me go quickly look at chat. I feel like I haven't looked at chat in a hot minute here. Let me give me just one moment. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Let's go look at the chat. Let's see the leaderboard. Nothing really. Snowing pretty good in New Jersey, even New York City. Yeah, probably some of this is some of that ocean effect. You're probably getting a little bit of ocean effect that's helping. If you're along Long Island right now, a little bit of that ocean water effect, even in New York. Philly, I don't know. You guys are like raining and snowing. You guys are probably dealing with like wet, like soggy snow, like that's barely accumulating. That's what's most likely going on down there. Huh. That's interesting. We're starting. All right. That's interesting. Look at this, you guys. We're starting to. I mean, this is still doing this. That's still doing that. We're kind of stalling now. We're kind of stalling this up here, and it's kind of fluctuating up here now. But eventually what's going to happen, this is going to start moving down too. So some heavier snowfall. But this is also going to be coming up like this. This is why in the future radar, when you look at it, you go in the 12, 1, 2, 3. You start to see that snow come back down to the south. And you kind of see the longest lasting snow is right around over here. Is that northern piece of energy. That's why I think we could definitely see some more snow. I wish I had a better radar for this. It's really bothering me. Huh. It's a little bit better here. There's a little bit of banding going on in here. It's hard to tell. But there's definitely some type of banding feature showing up. Even if it's just little. They used to have a radar over here. They kind of... This one's like broken. Okay. I wonder with these models, remember I was saying about the next storm system? Let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, but then we see that could be a little ice event, and then boom. That frontal genesis, you guys, that type, and then that very cold air going into February 20th. Looks like that's a possibility here. Alright, let's keep this updated. I didn't even fill up that yet. Alright. Oh, bam, we got some more snowfall reports. So we got a 0.3 here in Stowe, PA at 10:30. But then we got a 0.8 at 10:15, about an inch down here. Huh. Interesting. We're starting to get some reports. I wonder about the 0.3 down there. That must be all the way. Is that near Reading? That's south of Reading a little bit. I mean, it's probably hard to accumulate, though, down there. Because it did start out with rain. Yeah, it did start out rain, and then it turned to snow. It's probably much harder to accumulate. That's very interesting. Interesting. All right, let me go upstairs quickly and do that. We're going to keep an eye on this. All right. So it's snowing steadily, you guys. That's the thing. I just came back. I just looked outside. It's snowing steady still. Nothing too much has changed. It's snowing steady. That's kind of the key. So that's kind of good. That means once you kind of start snowing, there's one of those events where it's not going to be too bad for you. But eventually I do think this is going to wind down. And I don't know. Latest radar. I mean, kind of holding it steady. I really don't see that much has changed. There's one different thing I'm noticing. There's one thing I'm noticing. Yep, that's one thing I'm noticing, you guys. I'm starting to see things change up here. This is where those heavier bands are. We're starting to now see these bands kind of navigate to the south. I'm starting to see that navigation on the last couple frames here of a navigation to the south. What that tells me is we're kind of finishing up. We're almost kind of done with this westward movement. And we're kind of going to see this kind of moving like this. And then this kind of moving like this. So, and then this is kind of going to come back in here a little bit. So, your heavier snowfall rate totals are going to be over here. In central New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. That's kind of how this is setting up. Is when we go back here from the beginning, you kind of saw that travel to north and then that general southwest. But now you're starting to see those bands move a little bit more south. And that means that's going to bring some of the heavier snowfalls into this region that already have seen about an inch or so. So that's good if you're a snow lover, bad if you hate snow. I wonder what this report is. It's 11 o'clock. So I wonder if we kind of are at that or what. And then this is your latest GFS on this next coming storm. And what it seems like to me, it's I don't know. Let me quickly look at this here. So this is your latest, your latest GFS. Oh, that's, to be honest, it's about the same. It's a little bit more south. I would say just a tag. Yeah, it's just a tag bit south on the latest ZRZ. You're bringing more of that snow event a little bit more south. And if you want to count 10-1 ratios, yeah, I mean, when you go back to the other runs, you're definitely on the latest ZRZs a little bit more south, and that's going to be very important because tomorrow's going to be another day with this next storm system. I'm afraid. Yeah, it's a tad bit more south on the snow. The ice, ice is a little bit further to the north. You see how instead it was so far apart, we're kind of holding pretty good though. That tells me that's a good sign of it. But your temperatures are really not that off here. You definitely got a freezing rain issue. Like it or not, it's definitely not as warm. Your high is like 40 and your night, these temperatures are about 35 degrees. 35 degrees, so very close to some freezing rain. I mean, that is really close. That's something to watch because any little colder of a trend and you are looking at a freezing rain or wet snow and having real trouble with the melting situations. That's been a struggle this season. People that have been wanting the melting hasn't been getting their melting that they really want. They got it today, a little bit, not really, it was more yesterday. If you got your melting, it was kind of yesterday. You kind of saw some of the melting. It probably took down an inch or so, but it wasn't crazy. I really wonder how this is going to play out. You kind of see where this is developed. If you're in Allentown, Easton, you kind of have set up where you're steady. This is your steady snow, and this is your heavy. This is heavy right here. This is even heavy right here. Heavy, steady, 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 and then heavy back in here. The heavy, the H's are moving a little bit south. Right now for central New Jersey is not looking pretty. You probably look at some steady light snow, but you've been kind of, we'll have to wait and see. I'm really interested in all the Scranton there. I'm surprised we didn't get any reports yet from up there. We haven't got too much reports. We've been kind of quiet on reports. I don't know why, but yeah, a little bit quiet on the reports. Very interesting pattern, especially with this system. And then the next one, we're really going to struggle to get in crazy temperature swings here, you guys. Like, I wonder, I really... really wonder. I like the bands to the north. I have to admit, those bands to the north is really catching my eye. Because those bands would definitely drop something. Those bands have been steadily progressing to the south. A little bit. Not crazy, though. I really don't see anything really changing. Throughout tonight. It's kind of the same thing here. Greasy's out, if you want to talk about that. From Tuesday, oh wow, look at that. from 1Z to 2Z to 3Z. Look how much more aggressive. See, it's playing the catch-up game. See, now look. Now look what you're getting. Instead of the 1Z having nothing, 2Z having a little bit, and then look at this, 3Z. All of a sudden, now you're starting to get up to 2 inches here. It's still yet to come down here. I mean, I really think the Her's playing a little bit of catch-up right now. Because we already got that 1.5. I said 1 to 2, locally 3. And, even, 2 to 4. And I think that 2 to 4 is really going to solid in, you guys. I mean, this thing had the potential of being a 3 to 6, but not in this scenario. It would have been a little bit more robust to do that. Let's go back in here. Yeah, I mean, it's showing some steady snow. I don't know. I wish we had another radar. Like, we don't have any close radars. Yeah, it's not really anything big right there. Alright, let's keep seeing this. I mean, even in the lighter spots, it's still coming down heavy. I think that's kind of a radar glitch. So, not worried about that right now, really. All right. All right, let's see. Let's go in here. I'm kind of waiting it out because, okay, something maybe. There's a little bit of banding now trying to show up there, but I just don't believe this because it has went from this to this. It's kind of, I don't know. Holy. One moment. That far. All right. I think I'm going to be ending this, you guys. I think I'm going to kind of rest up. Um, there's really not much to talk about. I mean, we've been talking about the snow. I think is a general 2 to 4. I don't see anything that's alarming me of anything more. I mean, I'm going to check the accumulations once again, but I mean, there's one thing that I noticed with the pattern that's going to be very interesting. Look at this, you guys. We got our first cold air damming system right here with some ice, snow, winter precip, right? That's for the 18th. That's in like 3 days. Then we see one right after that, a little bit more in the way of a winter precip, another system. This would be for the 20th. And then you see the pattern right there. We got a negative tilted trough, and we got cold air, and we got precip. You know what that means? Potential snowstorm. That is definitely on the possibilities here in this one. Yeah, look at the latest GFS, what it's doing. It's about to create an inland monster snowstorm, basically. Yeah, look what the latest GFS is about to do. That's funny. It's about to create an inland monster of a snowstorm. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. A little bit of a nor'easter. You got your negative tilted trough. Inland. and you get another cold air damming and another system active pattern. We'll have to wait and see, you guys. I don't know. But if there's one thing I do know, we're in it with the snow right now. There's nothing that's majorly different. I don't see any new reports coming in as of this time. And this was over an hour and 14 minutes ago. I don't know how good that is anymore. These also are about an hour ago now. So I don't know. I would say there's a widespread inch. So anyone that was telling you just a dusting to an inch, you're wrong. We have already kind of broken that. So just keep that in mind with the precip.